cannot go through one day of training camp without hearing about Sidney Jones. Sidney Jones this, Sidney Jones that. Every day this guy comes in and makes plays. Sidney Jones is who we thought he was, a beast.
Kick the red, double move on the red.
Everybody do. King Ding back here. Are you ready for tonight? Are you ready for tonight? Tonight is the first football game of the year. The Hall of Fame game is tonight. Broncos, Falcons. Can't wait to watch it. I don't care that none of the starters are going to play. I don't care that I'll be bored by the fourth quarter. Who cares? I just want to see football. I want to see it played. This is my favorite time of the year. I am pumped for football. Now, as far as our Eagles go, we play our first preseason against the Titans in 1 week. 1 week from today, the Eagles will be playing in their first preseason game. I will be streaming it, of course. Come hang out with me. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So another day, another full practice for the Eagles. Now, this was no ordinary practice. This was a 2-hour, 45-minute, full go, double moonwalk that ass, tackling to the ground kind of practice. And this is one of those that you're going to remember for a while. It's hot, summer, you're out there a long time, and you're off tomorrow, so you want to give everything you have. And that's what the Eagles pretty much did. And, we had one minor scare. We'll get into that in a little bit. But, I can't go through 1 day of training camp without mentioning Sidney Jones. I can't do it because he's been so impressive. He's been so good so far that you have to talk about him. He had another great interception on Carson Wentz today. I think he's had maybe one every day this week. We're pretty close to it. I mean, he is everywhere. Now, he'll start in the nickel during training camp and stuff. Now, when Avonte Maddox comes out, he'll go outside as the backup corner on the outside to Avonte Maddox, and he's good in the slot. He's good on the outside. He's good here. He's good there. Double move. That is everywhere. That's what Sidney Jones is doing. And you can tell. I am very excited about hearing the news about Sidney Jones. Yes, it's early training camp. We haven't even played one preseason game. Get it. But this is what you want to hear. This is what we wanted to hear early on. That Sidney Jones is making an impression. Rasul Douglas is making an impression. Sidney Jones was a second-round pick. If he develops into what we think he can be. Because look, before his injury, you have to remember, Sidney Jones was a top 10 pick in the draft. Some people were saying he was the best corner in the draft. I thought he was number 2, but he was one of the best players in the draft, top 10 player, no doubt about it. He was the guy I wanted the Eagles to take with the first pick before his injury. Now, a lot of people lost confidence in him, and he frustrated me last year too. But the one thing I always kept in mind, and I've been preaching all off season, is you have to view last year as a rookie year for Sidney Jones. And that's what I did. And now you're looking at him, the progress he made from year 1 to year 2. He's healthy. He looks good. He looks good. And I've said this before. Avonte Maddox, in my opinion, is going to be a star. He is going to be a star. And if Sidney Jones, he can match it. If he can be who we think he can be, and you have Avonte Maddox and Sidney Jones, this secondary is going to be good a long time. Wait, rerun. I am super excited about Sidney Jones. Every day, it's like I have to talk about Sidney Jones because he's making his mark. And, I would like to talk about other guys and tell you all this, but when a guy is standing out to the extent that Sidney Jones is standing out, we got to be happy. We got to be impressed. And, hey, I love it. I love what Sidney Jones is doing. He has been fantastic, especially this week. He may be the best player all week long. That's how good he's been, in training camp this week, and he continues to impress. I have a lot of confidence that Sidney Jones is going to have a great year, a breakout year this year. So we did have a minor scare today. Miles Sanders goes down. Training staff has to come in, help him off the field, help him to the locker room. He eventually comes back out holding his helmet. He says he's fine. Doug Pederson says he's fine. I guess he hurt his foot. They do have more tests ordered, but he says he's going to be fine, and that's a good thing. Now, I know some people have already said to me, dude, are we going to have to worry about Miles Sanders, getting hurt a lot? Is he going to get hurt a lot? Is this going to be a problem with the hamstring already and everything else? Is he going to be okay? And I think that it's too early to start trying to put labels on somebody. He hasn't even played one preseason game. Yes, it's unfortunate he went down, he hurt his foot, but it wasn't serious. He will be back, and you know what? We'll be good to go. But Miles Sanders was definitely a scare today at practice, because when you have these 2-hour, 45-minute practices where it's full contact to the ground, you have to hold your breath during these practices, because you're always scared somebody's going to get hurt. And the number one thing out of every preseason, every training camp day, every practice I talk about, I should probably always say at the beginning, nobody got hurt today, because that is always the key. That is the number one thing you want to come out of this. I don't care about who looks good, looks like what. I don't care about all that as much as I care that everybody's healthy, nobody got hurt. And Miles Sanders avoided injury today, which is a good thing. As far as the North Dakota assassin goes, he struggled today. He actually struggled today. He was inaccurate on a lot of his passes. He did make some good passes, but overall, he struggled. And my feelings are that basically, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. As long as Carson Wentz is healthy, then every day at training camp, in my opinion, is successful. It's successful. And by all accounts, he is happy. He's feeling good. He is healthy. And that's all that matters. As long as he's healthy is what counts. Because guys are going to struggle in training camp. It happens. It happens to everybody. But when the games come and when the games are on the line, that's when I care. And you know what? Carson Wentz is healthy. That's all that mattered. But he did struggle today, no doubt about it. He did make some good passes too. He did hit Ertz. He hit Whiteside. Carlton Agudosi is a name that we heard a lot today. I think he had 3 red zone touchdowns. And it really creates an interesting situation at the wide receiver position. Because when you look at the wide receivers the Eagles have, they have Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, who basically had the day off. The Eagles gave him a rest day. I'm totally okay with that, especially on a physical practice like today. No need to put Deshaun out there. So Deshaun had off, but we have Deshaun. Then you have Nelson Aguilar. Then you have Arcega-Whiteside. Then you have Mac Hollins. You have to remember Charles Johnson, Shelton Gibson, Marken Michelle, DeAndre Tompkins. And then you have Carlton Agudosi. Okay, you have a lot of wide receivers. And I can't forget about Greg Ward. Greg Ward has been looking really, really good so far in camp. And a lot of these wide receivers, by all accounts, have looked really good. Even Braxton Miller has made some plays. DeAndre Tompkins, Greg Ward, Mac Hollins, when he was out there, he's been a little banged up. But we know what Mac Hollins could do. He looks like he's ready to come back and have a strong year this year. So you look at these wide receivers, and you see that the Eagles are really log-jammed at the wide receiver position. And it's going to make for interesting picks on what they do and what they decide to do there. I think that this Carlton Agudosi guy is somebody we should keep our eye on. And the reason I'm saying that is he's 6'6". He is a big dude. If you have watched any of the practice films for the Eagles, especially when they're working with the receivers, he stands out. And he's bigger than everybody. He's a beast. This guy's a big dude, okay? And I think he had 3 red zone touchdowns today. By all accounts, from what we're hearing from Doug Pederson, he's been impressive. He's been really good. And he's been doing a really good job. And I wonder if they would be interested in keeping him, because he offers something different than a lot of these other guys. He's a big, physical wide receiver who could be good in the red zone. And I would wonder if because of his unique skill set compared to most of the guys on this roster, like Shelton Gibson, Charles Johnson, all these other guys are not as big. Arcega-Whiteside, of course, is, and we like that. But with his size, I wonder if the Eagles would lean towards maybe trying to keep him around, because he offers something that these other guys don't. So it's going to be a real interesting battle at the wide receiver position. I would assume the Eagles are going to keep 5, but they could possibly keep 6. It's possible. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it. But if I was saying, what are the depth charts right now? Who do you think they're going to keep? I think that of course, Alshon, Deshaun, Nelson Aguilar, Whiteside, they're all locks. I think Mac Hollins will probably make it. And then I think there's going to be one spot possible open. Who's it going to be? I don't know. But Carlton Agudosi, definitely keep your eye on him during preseason, because, like I said, he offers the Eagles really something that not a lot of these other receivers have, and that's size and physicality. So something interesting to watch, but he had a good day. And overall, No big injuries came out or anything like that. We had the Miles Sanders scare, but overall, good day. It's a good day. And we have football on today. The Eagles are off tomorrow. I have another video I'm getting ready to hopefully put out tonight or tomorrow. But, hey, the Eagles, another day of practice, big physical practice, and I'm just excited about the season. We are 1 week away. 1 week away from the first preseason game, so I cannot wait. So tell me what you guys think about what the Eagles are going on. Tell me what you think about the wide receiver situation, and talk to me about whatever you want. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.